What is happening, guys? Carter here with Edge Mindset. Edge Mindset for some easy listening, unboxing / first impressions. Glad to have you aboard. We're taking a look at the Something Obscene LEK folding knife. This is my second Something Obscene. I've got the Mini J Cape. Man, here's the deal. I wanted to like this company. I wanted to be a Something Obscene fan. I can't do it. I'm probably going to end up moving both of these knives along. I'm not that impressed with either of them. I don't really like them. And to me, like the concept of the company, the name of the company, I like the vibe of the company, but the knives themselves are just lackluster. This is my favorite Something Obscene design, though, that I've come across. Funnily enough, this is the one that is not designed by Felix. So this is actually designed, I assume, by a friend of his. I forget his first name. His last name is Lek, L-E-K, hence the name of the model. But this is not really a Something Obscene design knife. This is a third-party design knife. And in terms of looks, to me, this is the most striking. It's very unique. You've got this cool Wharncliffe blade, and then you've got like these bat wing things going on here. The other thing that's cool about this release is it came in two different profiles. This is the double bevel, which is not my ideal one, but I got this one because it was a steal of a price, which is still overpriced in my opinion. But it also comes in chisel ground blades, and that's the one that I really wanted. But, you know, like I said, I got this one for a really good price, and I don't actually like it that much. Mainly because I can't manipulate the knife very good. I can't open it with my thumb. And it's not really so much these little diamond things. I mean, yeah, they're not the best for getting leverage, but they're not bad. You actually have like a nice little ledge there to get your thumb under in theory. My problem is just I can't get my fingers off of this lock bar. It's such a skinny design. I cannot do it. Like even when I consciously say, okay, put fingers on the pocket clip and then one up here, then I can't get leverage, right? I just can't get my hands around this thing to open it with my thumb. If I push really hard, if I get it like that, if I can monkey claw it and then push really hard, I can get past that detent because this has a ceramic ball detent, so it's not flattened at all. So strong detent, which I like. I just can't get my monkey paws around it to open it. Now the spider flick though works great. I can do it like that every time. In fact, really easy. So, you know, I do like the spider flick, but there's just something about not being able to do like a traditional opening that just kind of bugs me. But even aside from that, like I said, the profile's cool. I like the design choices. It's very comfortable. You got some nice jimping. It is M390, of course. Every Chinese knife is made with M390. This is made in China, by the way. All of the Something Obscene production knives are made in China. I don't know who makes this one. They've used a few different manufacturers for the different releases. Riot and I don't know, Reich or Wee or I don't know. There's some other ones that they've used on older ones. I don't know who was the OEM on this particular one. Oh, actually, this is 20 CV, so not technically M390. I mean, essentially the same thing, but that's interesting. So if this is really CPM 20 CV, that's a crucible steel. So this would have been shipped from the States. Usually it seems like it's cheaper for them to get the Bowler M390, which performs pretty much the exact same. So that's interesting that this is 20 CV. I stand corrected. I assumed it was M390. Let's talk features. Let's do size. Really the point of this video is just me kind of saying, I think I'm going to bow out from Something Obscene. You can see it's decent sized knife, bigger than a Spyderco. Weight on it is some ounces. It weighs ounces. It is quite skeletonized, but it does have some weight to it. 5.1 ounces. Really good skeletonization or lightning pockets, I guess you'd say, inside the titanium scales here. I mean, everything is pretty standard, right? It's kind of what you see now. I believe it's running on bearings. I do like how it has these pockets here for the internal stop pin that you can see right there. That's pretty cool. Nice internal stop pin. So it's got little circle channels right here that the stop pin rides in that allows for it to lock closed as well as lock open. That's pretty cool. It's got the lock bar insert there. It's got a backspacer with an interesting little channel in there for a lanyard, milled titanium pocket clip. This particular one is all blacked out, kind of a stone washed, acid washed, blackout type thing. I like the satin. They've got a version that's kind of hand, it looks like it's hand finished satin. I assume it's machine finished satin, or rubbed, I'm sorry, hand rubbed finish. I particularly prefer that one. Like I said, though, I kind of got this one because it was a really good deal. And I wanted to try it out. And I'm kind of glad I took advantage of the deal rather than paying the extra because, like I said, I just cut my mat. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do Something Obscene. Let's pull out this other one, too, since we're kind of going a little broader on this company. In fact, maybe this video isn't even going to be called, like, First Impressions of the LEK. Maybe this is going to be just my opinion of Something Obscene. They just don't. So let's transition into that. Why don't I like Something Obscene, or why was it somewhat of a letdown? Just the knife designs. You know, the design language, it just isn't there, right? They seem kind of random. You know, you got to picture this without the logo. You know, they've done a really good job with logos and branding and stuff. But without the logo, there's just not much going on. The knives are very plain. Like there's a hawk bill that they did. I forget the name of the model. And it's just a titanium like this, frame lock, but it just has a hawk bill blade. Nothing, like there's just nothing. There's not that much going on. Some people really dig them. They're made well, but they're made well like every Chinese knife that you see nowadays. And they look very much like a Chinese knife. All the standard features, you know, all the things going on. The other thing too, and this is personal preference, don't get me wrong. This is personal stuff. I don't like all the angles. And I don't even just mean, you know, kind of the more angular design here. I don't like these big wide bevels that are on all of the chamfer sides of the titanium. This one's really prominent, but even this one, like it just has that angular wide bevel. I just don't like it. And they're just overpriced, in my opinion. Like both of these I got for $300 each, which in the community is a dang good deal. But when I see this, I think, you know, this is like $150 little mini Chinese knife. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to rag on anybody here. I understand it's different than if we made this directly. You know, this is an independent designer. We're doing small batches. I get that. I understand that. You know, and I'm not trying to say that it's not worth that. Well, I guess it is for me. I just can't get past that. Like when I see this knife, I'm like, yeah, it just feels like it's a Kaiser or a little Wee knife, you know, like little titanium guy you'd buy for 100 and something bucks, and then you get it on the secondary market for like 80 bucks or something. But these things they go for a lot of money. This is a plain Jane version too. Like they get up there. And I just can't quite wrap my head around it. And I know plenty of people that are into these knives. If you're watching this video, you're going to say you can't justify that, but you can justify an SNG. And I would say, yeah, barely, barely. I mean, I have my reservations on a lot of knives when we're talking value. But there is some magic sauce that allows me to look past it on some knives and not others. If these were made in the USA, if they had just a little more strength behind the brand, like it really seems like they're just random designs for the most part. There's a little bit of carryover, but most of it's just because it seems like that's the cheapest thing to produce, right? And then you're dealing with these Chinese manufacturers, you know, it's just another titanium frame lock with a lock bar insert. Like, you know, they do it all the time. And so it seems like a lot of these designs, they're just taking the easiest path to make them in a lot of ways. This is the only one that's kind of a little adventurous. And it's also the only one not designed by the owner of the company, which I find kind of interesting. I don't know. I wanted to really like Something Obscene. They seemed cool. I like the vibe. I like the general concept. Felix, the owner designer, he seems like a really cool guy. He does some awesome stuff around the holidays for like Toys for Tots and stuff like that. Like, seems like a stand-up guy. I like the company. I just don't really dig the knives. Like, these are not. I got both of these, and they were both kind of just, they're there, they're fine, they're done well, right? There's nothing wrong with them. Like, they work and function fine. I mentioned price, but they're pretty good. But they just don't do anything for me. Like, I pretty much left them in the box since I got them. I wasn't even going to do a video on this guy. Like, I was almost pretty much like, I did an unboxing on this one. And then I was kind of like, I think I'm just going to skip it. Just pretend it didn't happen. Put them up for sale, see what I can get back on them, and move on. But then I thought, I guess the point of this channel is to give my opinion on things, and that's my opinion on it. This was one of those companies where I almost forced myself to get into because I wanted to. I kind of liked some things about them, and at the end of the day, the product itself just didn't really do it for me. So let me know down below if you have experience with these. Why am I wrong? Why am I right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know what you think about Something Obscene's knives, right? I like the company, like the owner. I just don't really care for what's being produced. And at the price point, these kind of go out. I just can't wrap my head around it. Kind of reminds me of, and it might be, it's these weird mental blocks, right? Speaking of Strider, you thought we were done, right? We're never done. Speaking of Strider, part of the reason I haven't gone full bore back into Striders, which feels so inviting and comforting, is because I can't get past certain things, like some of the pricing on the secondary market. And I'm not even saying it's not worth it, or that's a whole discussion. But like, to see an SNG CC concealed carry go for like $850 when the last time I was into Striders, I would buy them any day of the week from a retailer for like $375 brand new. Even though I get, that was 9 years ago, 8 years ago. They don't make them anymore. They're the vintage ones. I get that. But just the mental block, I can't do it. I can't. I'm like, no, I won't do that. I'm not going to pay double or triple cost because the company went through a thing and dissolved, and now people are after them. It's like, there's plenty of knives that are just as cool that don't have that. And I struggle with it. Like, as much as I want to get back into Striders, and as much as I like the idea of collecting like old school ones, the prices on them are just so outrageous. I can't get past it, primarily because I was around buying Striders when it wasn't like that. You could just go buy them. Like, double gunner grip, you just go buy it. Might not be the exact configuration, but you could just go buy it. Like, stores just had them. And so now that they're so scarce and the prices are so high, I could never justify it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I've rambled on long enough. You guys take care. I'll see you on the next video.